Hello everyone, I'm Lindsay Satterfield here on the Productivity Power page, and I wanted to come here before the week was up, just a few more hours before the end of Friday. So I wanted to come here and share something I've been thinking about related to navigating a challenging time. So I think this time qualifies as a challenging time. In fact, sometimes I wake up and I'm going along, doing my thing, having my coffee, and then there's just these moments when I kind of stop and think, what in the world is going on? I think it's because we have no context for this. We have no story for anything quite like this in most of our, I think, lifetimes. And so there's nothing to kind of grab onto to give it some meaning or context or hope or figure it out. It's really like, it just occurs to me now, it's like exploring a completely new territory, like being an explorer, like, oh my gosh, what's happening out here? Oh my goodness, let's wear face masks to the grocery store that I was just packed in there 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So there's just such a shock to the system, I think, when things change so suddenly. And add to that it's happening globally. It's just amplified in every corner of the world, basically. So we need to think about, how do we walk through a challenge like this? Now, challenges are part and parcel of life, right? We all go through them. I've gone through my challenges of making huge mistakes or financial difficulty or a great loss. These things are challenging. And one thing that I've come to know about myself is that when I have a challenge, when there's a challenge, the thing that I have come to learn about myself is that I will rise to it. It's almost like having a friendly, or not friendly, but a friendly opponent that you think, oh no, this is not gonna keep me down, I'm gonna rise. And that's what I wanna talk with you today about, is how do we do that in a situation like this? So, there's different reactions to a challenge like this. So one reaction could be, wake me up when it's over. And that idea that I'm just gonna hang out here and you let me know when things are back to normal, and we'll just call this a wash. We'll just pretend this never really happened, got a chance to stay home, if you're lucky to stay home, and like that. So you sort of like just back out. There are obviously people on the front line of this challenge that day to day are the workers in this challenge. There are people that are inconvenienced by this challenge. And so I guess, my suggestion for a time like this is the time to build mindset. This is the time when the mental game actually really matters, because just from what I've been reading from the facts on the ground and experts and listening to them, it doesn't look like the world is going to necessarily ever go exactly back to where we were. Many of the things hopefully will return at the right time, but I think as a community, as a world, as a nation, in whatever form, we are going to be changed because we will have had this experience. So hopefully we will have changed. So all this to say, to get to a productivity tip for you, this is an incredible time to apply the understanding about motivation. So I know I've talked so many times here about the levers of motivation, and that motivation is a neurochemical process. You need it for It's sort of the impetus of all the things that you do in life, all the action that you take. And that's not to say that you sit around and wait till just motivation magically pops on your head. It doesn't mean that. It means that you understand how can I stir my own motivation, because the motivation then becomes the wheels that give you more momentum in your action, more drive, more stick-to-itiveness, more grit. So I've said before, there are two main levers of motivation, and they are control and meaning. And, just if you think about your own life, if you think about times when you felt really out of control and things didn't have any meaning, you can feel that motivation plummet. So my suggestion right now, and I'm doing this for myself as well, is let's take this challenge like it's the mountain, right? It is a mountain. There is a mountain ahead of us. And how do we want to take the mountain? Are we just going to camp at the bottom and hope that the people, when they get to the other side, they'll tell us how to get around the mountain? Or are we going to actually take this mountain? And the way you can take the mountain is with meaning. It's with meaning. It's how do I, human beings are meaning makers. We're meaning makers. We create stories. We derive meaning. That's why this is so hard to kind of get a grip on what's going on, because we have no past story for this. We have no meaning for this. So that's when we're called to bring our own meaning, our own sense of purpose. I don't want to get to the other side of this and not have changed for the better. So that's what we can be thinking about, is how do I want to use this challenge? And there are challenges people are facing. Financial challenges, loss of the people that they love, uncertainty about the future, job loss. There is a ton of challenge to go around, and our neighbors are experiencing tremendous challenge. So how is it that I want to go through this? This is what each of us can find out. What is it that I want to, what kind of meaning do I want to bring to this situation? How do I want to use this? And this can be very simple. This doesn't have to be super esoteric. What do I want to learn? Like, what do you want to learn right now that is going to make you stronger, that is going to make you be able to rise to the occasion? Are you being called to be a leader in a new and different way? How can you commit to that? Are you being called to help out your neighbors in a new and different way? How might that change you? So really looking at allowing this time, instead of to defeat us, to really use it to rise above it, to rise because in spite of it, let's say, and use it to become better. I know even for myself, it's simple things. So this doesn't have to be big. Is it about parenting? For myself, it's looking at how can I serve my clients better than I was before? What can I do that will help them more now? So for whatever it is for you, find that thing or those things that you want to have that can bring meaning to this situation, so that you rise and become stronger, not get defeated in the anxiety that's very real, the worry that's very real. All of that can start to diminish our sense of agency during a time when a lot of it is out of our control. So meaning helps us bring back that sense of agency, that sense of connection to our own lives. And with meaning comes sort of a bias for action in a certain way towards what's meaningful to us. And when we take action towards what's meaningful to us, we uplift ourselves, we feel more motivated, and we will get through the challenge. I know I have a client, I think I've mentioned her before. She was feeling very out of control and very scared about the situation. She lives by herself. She didn't feel like she had a lot of connection to people, and she was really anxious. And she decided to start making face masks, and that has really shifted her focus so that she's moving in a direction that feels productive during a time that can feel so destructive. So we have this big mountain ahead of us. How can we have meaning during this time and use meaning as an actual mindset tool to get us through to the other side of this as better, as changed, as developing something about ourselves that we didn't have before, a tool that we didn't have before. So that's my suggestion. Think about, and you also can look at different aspects of your life. You know, what do I want to focus on related to my family? What do I want to focus on related to work? Do I want to develop new skills? Do I want to try out a new, a business idea? Maybe if you've lost your job, maybe this is an idea a time to study something. You know, Google the heck out of something and learn something that you've been wanting to do. We have these circumstances, those things we can't change, but certainly how we approach them can. And that's all to say that, we also have to give ourselves a little space in this time. There are the ups and the downs, but your sense of meaning will keep the trajectory over time going up. So anyway, that's my thought for today. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday and a great weekend to come. We really have to find ways to distinguish the days, don't you think? So tomorrow is Saturday. It's the weekend. I hope you do something a little different, change it up so that there's some texture to time as we go through this. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.